press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello students, how are you? I hope that all are doing good. So today I am here with you with the new lesson. The name of the lesson is The Sermon at Benares. Okay. So this lesson is written about Gautama Buddha. Okay. So you know that you all are familiar with what are the qualities the Gautama Buddha had. Okay. And he was one of the religious preacher. So now we come to know in this lesson we just gone to understand about the life of Gautama Buddha, how he was begin his life as a preacher, as a monk, okay, how he started his journey and how he was preaching to the people. Okay, how he was telling the people. So when he got enlightenment, okay, and when he was enlightened about the wisdom, why the world is suffering with the pain and sorrows. So he was preaching to the people, okay. So in the matter of why the death are there, why the pain, why the old age, why the diseases are suffering for the people, okay. So these are the things which are suffering for a people, okay. So why it is there? So let's see in this lesson, so the life of Buddha, okay, how he was attained the enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, okay. So how he was explained, how he was preached to the people, okay. So the world is an illusion, world is not a permanent, it is temporary. So the life which one is having a life thing, so the thing which is having a life, so that should be an end, okay. So that should be attain the death, okay. So let's say in this lesson, that is Sermon at Benares, okay. So sermon means with the use of the dictionary you come to know about what is the sermon. So it is different with the lecturing and also teaching, okay. So it is not similar with the teaching and lecturing, so that is different, but sermon is different. Sermon is it's about a religious or called the religious discourse. It tells about the religious morals, okay. So this is where the people have to believe, but the teaching and lecturing, it's about the knowledge, okay, the knowledge and information, okay. So here they are giving a spiritual from the spiritual way they are telling the people, they are explaining the people, so how should we have to follow the right path, okay, so when we are alive. So this is about it. So let's move to the lesson. Here the story of so here before I am moving to the story, the lesson, here there are some words are given, like find out the meanings of the words and phrases given in the box. So there are some words are there, so you, with the help of the dictionary, you just find out what is the meaning of these words. So afflicted with, then be composed, then dissolutions, lamentation, procure, be subject to, okay. So this is the thing. Have you heard of the sermon on the mount who delivered it? Who do you think they delivered a sermon at Benares, okay. So delivered the sermon, the religious morals to the people, okay. So not only was did in a mount, okay, that is he also delivered his sermons in a Benares, okay. So this is, let's see the lesson. Gautama Buddha, so he was born in 563 BC and he was died in the year 483 BC. Began life as a prince named Siddhartha Gautama in northern India. At 12, he was sent away for schooling in the Hindu sacred scriptures, and 4 years later, he returned home to marry a princess. They had a son and lived for 10 years as befitted royalty. At about the age of 25, the prince heretofore shielded from the sufferings of the world. While out hunting, chanced upon a sick man, then an aged man, then a funeral procession, and finally a monk begging for alms, okay. So I'm just going to be explain these lines, okay. So about Gautama Buddha, he was born in the year 563 BC and he was died 483 BC, okay. So he was begin his life as a prince, okay. His name was Siddhartha Gautama. So the name of the Gautama Buddha was Siddhartha Gautama, so which he was living in a northern India, Okay, at the age of 12 he was sent to the school, so for his education. So he was there, he was learned the scriptures, the sacred scriptures. Okay, scriptures which is in a written in a writing of any sacred writings of a book. Okay, so this is called sacred. He was went for school at the age of 12 to learn the scriptures, to understand scriptures and to learn it. So after 4 years later, after 4 years, so then he returned home with the princess. Okay, princess, yeah, he was married to a girl. Okay, then they had a son and lived for 10 years as befitted royalty. So these this couple had a son. For 10 years they were having in a relationship. Okay, happily relationship, they are living in a palace. Okay, befitted means befitted means be fit for. So they were living happily in a palace. Okay, so their life was it's comfortably they were leading a life in a palace. Then they had a son. Okay, and about the age of 25, the prince heretofore shielded from the sufferings of the world. Okay, the heretofore means up to the present time. Heretofore means it means here up to the present time. Up to the present time. Shielded from at the age of 25, when the Siddhartha was turned 25 years of age, so then he was understood that the world is suffering. Okay, the world is suffering, but he wanted to know why the world is suffering. So at the age of 25, he comes to know about that world is actually suffering. Okay, while out hunting, chanced upon a sick man, then an aged man, then a funeral procession, finally monk begging for alms. So when he looked at the scenes of the sick man, a sick man, when he looked the scene of a sick man and an aged man and the dead body. Okay, and he also looked the monk which he was begging, okay, for alms. Alms means something giving to the poor as a charity. Okay, we are donating something, no? So that is called as we are giving something as a charity, that is called alms. So when he saw the three scenes where a sick man, where an aged man and also dead body and a dead body, so in a funeral processions, so there he understood that world is suffering. Okay, so how he was understood when he went for a hunting. So on the way back he saw these scenes. So then he understood that the world is actually suffering because he is living in a palace. He doesn't know that. So what is the sufferings are, what are the sorrows are, okay, what are the pains are. And also he saw there was a monk, he was begging. Okay, so why he was begging? He just looked all the scenes. Then these sights so moved him that he at once went out into the world to seek enlightenment. Concerning the sorrows he had witnessed, he wandered for 7 years and finally sat down under a peepal tree where he owed to stay until enlightenment came. Okay, so when he saw these four scenes, okay, then he just leave home. He just left home. He just wanted to find the truth. Okay, why these sufferings are. So he roamed. He was just wandering for 7 years to find that what is the truth behind these sufferings. Okay, so then he wandered for 7 years and then he sat down a peepal tree. Okay, he was sat down under a peepal tree. So then after he was roaming 7 years, so to find out the truth behind the suffering, the sorrowness, so then he was sat down under a peepal tree. Then where he vowed to stay until the enlightenment came. So he was sat under the peepal tree until the enlightenment came. Okay, so he was not reached to the enlightenment, till then he was sat under that peepal tree. Okay, then enlightened after 7 days, he renamed the tree, the Bodhi tree, the tree of wisdom, and began to teach and to share his new understandings. Okay, so here the story of Gautama Buddha, when he was sat under the Bodhi tree, so he was decided that not to leave this place. He sat till he was not attained the enlightenment. Okay, so he was 7 days he was sat continuously and he was meditating. Okay, he was meditating and trying to understand that what is the cause of the sorrowness. Okay, then he renamed after he was enlightenment. So he was renamed as a Bodhi tree. Okay, Bodhi tree, the tree of wisdom. What is the meaning of Bodhi tree? It is the tree of wisdom. So there he was attained enlightenment. He got the wisdom. Okay, he got the answers. Okay, then and began to teach and to share his new understandings. So what he understood about the sorrowness, why it is there in the world. So after that he started preaching. He started teaching to the world. Okay, and he was sharing his understanding with the wisdom. Okay, what he was got with the enlightenment. At that point he became known as a Buddha, the awakened or enlightened. So at that point when he got enlightenment, from that day, so he was named as, he was recognized as the Gautama Buddha. Okay, that is called Buddha. After that, after he was reached to the enlightenment, so Buddha means awakened. Okay, and he was and are called as a enlightened. Okay, so he was awakened or enlightened. Then the Buddha preached his first sermon at the city of Benares. So after he was attained to the enlightenment, so the first sermon, the religious preaching, okay, so he was did in a city of Benares. Okay, that was the first sermon of Buddha, Gautama Buddha. Then most holy of the dipping places on the river Gangas, that sermon has been preserved and is given here. So dipping place means we take a bath in the river Ganga to pure them. Okay, the people where they go and they bathing there in the river Ganga to pure their to leave the impurities from the soul, from the body. Okay, to make them pure. Okay, so this is the thing. To make them pure, the people are used to go for to take a bath in a river Ganga. So that place is called as a Benares. Then, and the sermon has been preserved. So there, all the sermons of the Buddhas, it was preserved there. Okay, so where the people were going to to pure their all the things, all the deeds. So what they were done, and also they have preserved all the teachings of Buddha. It reflects the Buddha's wisdom about one inscrutable kind of suffering. Inscrutable means something which cannot be understood. Okay, so it reflects the Buddha's wisdom. So that place reflects the Buddha's wisdom. Okay, so where he was understand the sorrowness and the suffering in the world, so that it was telling, it reflects the thing, the place, it reflects the thoughts of Buddha. Okay, so which others cannot be not understand easily, and kind of suffering. Okay, so the kind of inscrutable means it's a kind of suffering where the people goes there to pure their souls and pure their heart. Okay, their mind also. This is, so let's see, there is a story. So this is the brief explanation of a Gautama Buddha. So how he was leading a life, and after that how he started his journey, so as a monk, and how he changed his life. Okay, from Siddhartha Gautama as a prince to a Gautama Buddha as a monk. Okay, and then there is an incident. Okay, so this is the life of the Gautama Buddha. So after that he saw some of the, there are some incidents, like some of the what called the stories are came to him, that to solve the solutions, to solve the problems. Okay, so how he was solved that problems. So let's see in the upcoming paragraphs. Let's see here. Kisa Gautami had an only son and he died. In her grief, she carried the dead child to all her neighbors, asking them for medicine. And the people said she has lost her sense. The boy is dead. Okay, in this paragraph, it's a story about Kisa Gautami. So Kisa Gautami, she had a son, only a son, and he was died. That son was died. Because of the sorrow of that son, he just holding the dead body in his arm, that son's dead body, and he was begging for medicines. He went to the neighbors and he was asking medicines for his life. Okay, and the people were used to call her. She was gone mad. Okay, because the boy was dead. How can they give the medicine for a dead boy? Okay. At length, Kisa Gautami met a man who replied to her request. I cannot give three medicines for her child, but I know a physician who can. So after some distance, when she was asking for a help, so there she found a man and he gave a suggestion. So he said that I am not going to help you, but there was a man. I think he must be help you, but there is no medicines for you to make your child alive, to make your son alive. But if you go to that man, maybe he will help you. So he said it. So he was a physician. So he said that he know the physician. And the girl said, pray tell me, sir, who is it? And then man replied, go to Sakya Muni, that is Buddha. Okay. So then she asked that, so tell me who's the man. I just go with near him, and then he asked for a help. So there he replied that it was a Sakya Muni, that is called Buddha. Kisa Gautami repaired to the Buddha and cried, Lord and Master, give me the medicine that will cure my boy. Okay, because that man was said that he was a physician. He knows everything. So then she went to Buddha and she asked for medicine to make his son alive. Okay, then the Buddha answered. Now the Buddha replied, I want a handful of mustard seed. And when the girl in her joy promised to procure it, the Buddha added, the mustard seed must be taken from a house. No one has lost a child, husband, parent or a friend. Okay. So in this paragraph, Buddha was given a response to the solution of a problem of that girl. Okay, he asked that Gautama Buddha was answered, and he was asked that to a girl, you just go and collect some mustard seed, okay, from the house which there was no death in any one of the houses. They could not achieve the death. There will be no death. Either any husband should be not died, or a son, or a father, or a parent. Okay, so from that house you should bring a mustard seed. So he said it. Repaired means went to. Okay, so the meaning called repaired means went to. Then poor Kisa Gautami now went from house to house, and the people pitied her and said, here is mustard seed and take it. But when she asked, did a son or a daughter or a father or a mother die in your family? They answered her, alas, the living are few, but the dead are many. Do not remind us our deepest grief. Okay, remind us of our deepest grief. And there was no house, but some beloved one had died in it. Okay, so in this paragraph, Kisa Gautami, she went to the house one after the another, and she was asking mustard seed. And all the people, they feel sympathy towards that girl, and they had given the mustard seeds. And when she was asked them, are any people or died in your families? So either any daughter or father or any people in their family, are they died? So then she got the answer, yes, alas means yes, actually they were died. So don't just remind those pain, so what they have lost. Okay, so they said it, alas, the living are few. So only few people are living, and the death are many. So many people are dying, only few people are living. It means that when they are living in the world, so one day they should be died. Okay, so the death is there for every life thing. Okay, so then do not remind us our deepest grief. So the sadness, the pain what we have, so don't ask the people what we have lost. Okay, so don't remind us. And there was no house, but some beloved one had died in it. So no house left with the death. Okay, so in every houses the death is common. Okay, so one or another house the people were died. Okay, then Kisa Gautami became weary and hopeless and sat down at the wayside watching the lights of the city as they flickered up and were extinguished again. Very means expressive of fatigue, tired. She got tired. Now Kisa Gautami, when she heard that each and every home there must be the death. So when she heard this story, so then she was felt tired. Okay, that is called very, and she become hopeless. Okay, and then she was watching, and she was sat down and she was watching the street lights. Okay, the lights of the city, and the flickered up means to burn and extinguish again. So those lights which was burned and it was extinguished means it was vanished. Okay. At last the darkness of the night reigned everywhere, and she considered the fate of men and their lives flicker up and are extinguished again. And she thought to herself, how selfish am I in my grief. Death is common to all, yet in this valley of dissolution there is a path that leads him to immortality who has surrendered all selfishness. Okay, flicker means she was blaming to herself. Okay, the Kisa Gautami, she was blaming to herself how mean I was. Okay, because I become selfish, because death is common in every houses, so no one is escaped from the death. Everybody has to be die when they were alive, when they were take a birth in this world, they must be die. Okay, so this is, and then grief, how selfish I am in my grief. So I was selfish in my sorrowness. So she says here, death is common to all. So death is not for a few people, death is not for my son, so it is for common to all. They are also suffering, so other people is also suffering. Yet in this valley of dissolution means an area which is filled with deep sorrow. So the area where the world where we are living, so it is an area of a deep sorrow. So sorrow is there. Okay, and then there is a path that leads him to immortality. Okay, so in that sorrowness we should have to reach our immortality, and who has surrendered all selfishness. We all are having selfishness. Okay, because of that selfishness we are not caring other people. So what they were having a pain. Okay, so when she was gone and understand the other people pain, then she realized that each and every people were suffering. Okay, so through that she was understand that so death is common for all, not for my son. Okay, I am not only the suffering here, each and every person is suffering. So through that she understood that. Okay, so with the selfishness we forgot others' pain. Okay, so this is the message from this paragraph. The Buddha said the life of the mortals in this world is troubled and brief combined with the pain. Mortals means those born to die. Okay, so Buddha said here the life of the mortals, the people who are living in this world, so they should have in it trouble. So they are living a life in it trouble, means they are making their life difficulties. Okay, and combined with pain, they are living a life in a difficulty with the pain and sadness, that is the sorrow. Okay, then for there is not any means by which those that have been born can avoid dying. It doesn't mean that any people who are born, so that doesn't mean they should avoid the dying. Yes, everybody must have to be die one day. Okay, so we should have to know that one day we should have to die. We should know we are not living in this world permanently. Okay, so he says here, Gautama Buddha says like this: after reaching old age there is a death. So how we are taking the that is the forms. The first, when we born, so we take a form of human beings. Okay, that is the small babies. Then when it is when the body is attained to the old age, then after that death. Okay, so as a youngster, first is the born baby, then we become adults, then we become old, then later it was a death. Okay, it's a death, it was not, it's a death actually. Okay, then of such a nature are living beings. So this is the nature of living beings. So the people as a human beings, so when a person is take a birth, okay, so then when he has to reach to the old age, then he has to die. Okay, then as ripe fruits are early in danger of falling, here it is comparing the life of the human beings, it is comparing to the fruits. So how the fruits when they were ripe, so it should be fallen. Okay, it should be fallen from the tree. So they are safe, that fruits are safe safe on the trees, okay, when hanging the trees it was a safe. So when it was fallen, it means that it compares to the death, okay, so the fruit is going to be die. This is so mortals when born are always in danger of death. Always the mortals means the life is always in a danger of death. So we should have to understand that each and every life things, okay, that must be die. Then all as other vessels made by the potter end in being broken. So where the earth is also formed, it takes a form of vessels. So that should be one day should be also die. Not even the earth is permanent. So that is also one day it should be die. Okay, like a vessel, how it was die. So is the life of mortals, both the young and adult, both those who are fools and those who are wise, all fall into the power of death, all subject to death. So either who are the young or adults or any people, like who are the fool people, who are the wisest people, who are the richest people, who are the poor people, each and every person have to die. Okay, so that is the power of death. So death is for everyone, it is common for all. Okay, then so this is about the paragraph. Let's move to the next paragraph. Of those who overcome by death depart from life, a father cannot save his son, nor kinsmen their relations. Okay, so when we are overcome with the death, means our relations or our relatives or any family members, they will die. They can't save their people, they can't save their family members. If the father can't save his son, and the kinsmen, they can't save the relations, the king, he can't save his relations, whoever that die. And mark, while relatives are looking on and lamenting deeply. Lamenting means expression of sorrow. Okay, mark, while relatives are looking on and lamenting deeply, one by one mortals are carried off like an ox that is led to the slaughter. So how it beautifully compares to the life. So one by one, either your relatives are died today, maybe the other person turns will come to the next day. So one by one, like how the ox are dying when they were slaughtering. Slaughtering means when the ox were when the animal like a ox, when it is going to slaughter one by one. So like that the human being is also going to die. Okay, so the thing is only turns changes. So the world is afflicted, it is affected by the suffering, disease or pain with the death and decay. Therefore the wise do not grieve, knowing the terms of the world. Okay, so death is fixed. Okay, so now, so which is suffering with the disease and pain and death. So we should have to be die and decay one day. Okay, then the wisest person is that he should not be grieve in that death. Okay, he should not stick on to that sadness, he should have to move on. And knowing the terms of the world, he should know what is the quality of the world. When the one person is alive, when he was took a birth, he must be died. Okay, so one by one after the another, so that person should be done. Not from weeping, not from grieving will anyone obtain peace of mind. On the contrary, his pain will be the greater and his body will suffer. Actually, the pain, the body is suffering. Okay, when the body is going to be dying, it is suffering. But the main thing we need is the peace of mind, our soul. So how we get it? We get it only through following the paths of Buddha. Okay, so how he will make himself sick and pale, yet the dead are not saved by his lamentation. Okay, so dead is not saved by lamentation. The lamentation means express of sorrow. So dead is about the sorrowness. Okay, when a person is died, we express our sorrowness as sadness. So we should have to be understand the quality of death. Okay, and he who seeks peace should draw out the arrow of lamentation and complaint and grief. The person who seeks, who understands the death, it is that should be have to accept it. Okay, so that the weapon called lament, okay, the sorrow, sorrow means pain, okay, and also the complaint of the world, the grief, the sadness. So everything we should have to be understand, we should have to tolerate, okay. Then he who has drawn out the arrow has become a composed will obtain the peace of mind. So all these things like the pain, the sorrowness and the death, it is like a arrow. We should have to save from that arrows, okay. So when the person, he should be seek, when he was understand the problems of the world, why it is, when we all live all those desires, so then only we can escape from this sorrowness, okay. So what it leads our peace of mind. He who has overcome all sorrow will become free from sorrow and be blessed. The person who was accept the reality of the sorrowness, the pain and death, so that person is leading a life completely, okay. He should have to understand the sorrowness, the pain and the death. So that is like an arrow, he should have to tolerate it, okay, and he should have to understand the power of death. So it means that person is going to be live properly what he has desired, and he can lead his life in a peaceful manner, okay. So that person, he should understand the death, the pain and this is present in the world. We should have to face it like arrows, okay, the weapons. So when it is used during the time of wars and all, so that we have to tolerate it, okay. We have to accept it, all the sorrows of the world. So then only we find our peace of mind, okay. We attain our what called moksha, okay. So this is about the lesson called the sermon at Benares, okay. I hope that you have understood the story of life, the life of Gautama Buddha and how he was explained about the death, okay. So death is permanent. The death, when a person is understand the death is permanent, it is not going to be live any person, whoever they are, the king, they are a royal, they are living in a luxurious life, they are protected, they are lived in a protected walls or a bulletproof walls, and anywhere in the world they can live. So the death is permanent, that must be die, that should be die, okay. So each and every life, the things which has the life, so one day that life is to be die, okay. So we should have to accept it, we should have to tolerate those pains, the sorrows and everything, and we should have to understand the other pain also. So not only we are sufferer, even the other people also sufferer. So when we have to open our mind, when we are think about others' problem, so then we thought that, so yes, we have become a selfish, okay. We should not become a selfish, we should have to understand the other problems, we should have to lead our life in a peaceful manner, okay. For a peace of mind we need it. So this is the story of the sermon at Benares. I hope that you have understood it. So all of you, we will meet you in the next class. Till then, all of you stay at home, keep learning. Thank you.